G'day everyone and welcome back into the shed. I've got my left hand guard ready to go on the car more or less. So, well, not really ready to go on the car, but ready to finish for paint sort of thing. So if you have a quick look in here, I have achieved everything I set out to do with it. So that is the finished item all put in there. But if we take it apart, I've used the original plastic legs that GMH gave us, and I've cut slots in here, and when they're assembled on the original setup they just melt these down and squash them so they can't pop off. So I'm probably just going to put a good gob of urethane on the back of each of those legs to make that work. And the same deal with this insert as well. It's got plastic legs on them as well that they just melted a bit. So I've got the little recess in here, that all worked. And I've matched up the little divot in here. There's a wire clips in there on the back of it for the repeater light that fits in there, the little indicator light. So my plan, ooh, don't drop that and scratch it. My plan with these worked beautifully. So I cut this so it wouldn't fit into the little plastic insert, and then I just bolted it in there in the same spot where they gave us a bolt hole. And then I tightened it up tight, and then I got in there with the hammer and the dolly and just worked along these edges. So they're not perfect. If you're looking for an absolutely perfect crease, you're not getting that, but a little bit of filler and a little wipe through there and a little bit of a sand, we're going to have the right shape. And then I did the same thing on the other side of it, made the same part to go in the front, and then I've since welded the hole up in there. So these little legs on the back, I welded those on afterwards. And the ones I had made years ago when I was first playing with this, I had actually set them in a little bit too high, looking at it from this direction here, so it was propping the little plastic insert. So I wound up cutting those off. Just wanted to point out, it's not a great idea to be welding corners, and I never weld a corner. It doesn't matter if I'm making a repair patch or whatever, or a custom part. I will always weld around the side on the flat. So these pieces of metal, I've just shaped an edge on, fitted them in there, got them to the depth I wanted, and then I have just welded them in around the flat, and then it's very easy to grind the welds off. You're not actually biting metal out of the corner and running the risk of the tab wanting to snap off afterwards. And for these, they were just pieces of sheet metal I put in the vise, and actually I might as well walk over there, I'll just give you a quick look at it. All I used they were all offcuts of metal, so I just picked up shards of metal, and there's a few ends and things, actually not one of them, like this is an end off one of the pieces I cut, but all I did was I cut the radius for the wider radius on the little plastic insert, and it's not quite the right shape, but it's close. So I just sat it against this old pulley, clamped it in the vise, just got my hammer, tunk, 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 put a nice little radius edge on it like that, and then where I needed it to be a little bit flatter, I just clamped it in the vise and then squashed the radius a little bit on each side, and then I could trim it and put it on there. So super easy. For the two tight corners, this was all I used for a former. So I clamped my piece of sheet metal in the vise next to a little quarter drive socket, and then same thing, just tap, tap, tap with the hammer, rolled it round this edge of it, and I wound up with, well, I'm going to say about 3/16 of an inch, so about 4.5 millimetres, 4 millimetres rolled around, and then I could just trim that to the right shape and then just sit it onto the actual mudguard, weld around the corner, job's done. So that was super easy. So I've had my plans changed today. I was actually going to go into actually setting the other mudguard up and doing a bit of work on it with you guys, but I've got to rush off for a truck trip. So this is just going to be a really short and sweet one, but I'll show you a few other things. The right side mudguard, I've started by just welding up the hole for the original little indicator light that went in the side there, and I have the measurements from an original guard off this line to the bottom of where the insert went, and the same for off this edge here to where the insert was. So I've marked them. The bottom of the insert parallels this, so it's just a matter of getting a measurement here and a measurement back there, drawing a line, and then I've used, it's here somewhere, anyway, the left-hand plastic insert upside down on here just traced a line around the edge of it. That's given me the shape. And then I have also traced through the opening in it for the shape of where the plastic insert fits into it. And then I have marked it a further ½ an inch further in, 12, 13 millimetres further in, to give myself a little bit of room to work it. It's going to stretch, it's going to move a bit, so this hole will get bigger as we work the panel. But I've got enough material there that it'll come back to it. The two formers I have put through the slip roller, and all I have done is just reverse the shape. So I found the sweet spot with the rollers where I ran the first one through a couple of times until I got it, and the second one I just went from it being basically curved this way, rolled it through, and it's a curve that way. So they now match the mudguard, and so all I've got to do is drill the holes, bolt that on there. And what I learned with the first one was it's a very awkward panel to hold and do a lot of work on. So what I'm planning on doing is I've cut 4 pieces of scrap metal, and I'm going to set this up and weld the bottom one to my steel bench, and then all I've got to do is support the far end of the guard so it's not flapping around while I'm hitting it, but I can dress the shape into it. But I will get that on film. We will capture a bit of that. But lastly, but not leastly, this idea has been in my head for over 20 years. Like, I spotted these when they first came out on these cars, and I thought, wow, they've almost nailed it, but I really don't like that insert around it. And at the time I was building this car over here, which has been my dad's work car for nearly 20 years. And I was going to put these VZ vents into the sides of the guards, but I couldn't get it to actually work in my head where I was happy to it. I'd sort of thought of all the things we've done on the Commodore fender, and it wasn't working for this. But then all of a sudden Holden released the VE Commodore, the next generation on, and the first time I saw the ad on TV, I saw the car drive past in the advertisement, and there's this insert with the light in it, and I thought, wow, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So I went and bought 2 of these. The first pair sold in Western Australia, and we had to back order them. And this worked better for this car than what the other one does, mainly because when this was in the original parent car, the VE Commodore, the line along the top here matches the style line in the car. So it's a little bit of a curve in there. So this one's got a bit of an arc here. This one matches the wheel arch on its original car. The bottom one's more or less straight, but the back edge matches the door opening. So cutting the piece out of a fender, and at the time the model had just been released, so there was no dead ones out there. We could just have to make do with what we had. So I went back to the original plan of dressing it in there. So this is the pair of formers used to do both these mudguards in 2007, so 19 years ago. And this is the tooling that presses the recess in for the little insert to actually clip into it. So this was bolted onto the guard and tightened up, and it was reversed. So I did one side first, and then I took the thing apart, cut the welds off it and put it on the opposite side. So this side's had a couple of welds on it where it was set up, and then it was put back together again, and then it was just a case of bolting it on either side of the panel, tightening the bolts up, and it pulls the little recess into it. Easy as pie, and it's worked a treat. And most people look at it and have thought, oh, you've cut the piece out of the other car's guard, but no, this was actually all put into the original parent material. There's no welds in there, there's no joins anywhere. That is just the shape of the metal. It has been altered and pulled into shape. And the main reason I wanted to do this was Dad at the time was in his 60s, and he said he wanted this ute done up, and I built him one in the 1980s, but it rusted away because he'd used it as a farm truck for most of its life. So he bought this one at an auction, and he said, I actually want a V6 in it. And I thought, oh, okay. And I thought, well, at your age, you're going to want an automatic. And he says, no, I want a 5-speed manual. So it has got the original V6, the Buick style motor, and a 5-speed manual in it. But then I like to theme everything. So because we had the little bit of a Commodore twist in it, I went with the Commodore Chaser style wheels, but the offset is wrong for these models, so I've actually knocked the centres out and changed the backspace on there so they actually line up with the old HZ style. So they've got a 4-inch backspace wheel, and that was a little subtle change there. We put the Commodore vent in the guard, and we've got the Commodore engine.
Now we actually have a video on this vehicle that is the build photos, and I'll put a link up there for that if anyone's interested in going and having a look at the photos.
Yeah, so on our sister channel, our Rob's Shed build photos, there is actually all the build photos for this car, so worthwhile checking out. But this is a work car, there's no beautification, it hasn't been washed or tubbed or anything recently, but that's the V6 in there, and with all my engine conversions I try to make them look like they belong in the space they're in. And I think I've achieved it with this one. It fits in there nicely. It's got cruise control. It doesn't have air conditioning, but it does have power steering. So there you go. So thanks guys for watching. Really appreciate it. And I'm going to have to run around and grease a truck up and get it ready to go to Kiwikara, the most remote community anywhere in Australia. So thanks very much. Talk to you soon.